10 Best Things to Do in Aarhus. Denmark's second city and the largest on the Jutland Peninsula, Aarhus encapsulates many of the things people love about this country. It's a clean, forward-thinking place filled with arresting pieces of modern architecture. If you've got a thing for design, check out the functionalist town hall or the new Dock 1 complex by the water. History also abounds in Aarhus. The sprawling open-air museum, Gamle By, is the closest thing you'll get to a time machine, while the old streets of the Latin Quarter are made for a wander and cool glass of beer in the summer. 1. Gamle By. A large and labyrinthine open-air museum with 75 authentic historic buildings and a large cast of reenactors, Gamle By is the ultimate gateway to Danish social history since the 1700s, and a fun day out. The attraction creates living snapshots of the 18th, 19th and 20th centuries and lets you interact with the period as much as possible. So in the 19th century area you can see what life was like when Hans Christian Andersen was writing, meeting village characters like the widow of a clergyman or merchants' maid and tasting cakes baked with recipes from 1895. The most recent part covers the 1970s, so you'll meet 4 young hippie types and listen to LP records. 2. Moesgaard Museum. This attraction has collections from around the world, but the exhibitions covering Denmark's past boast artifacts you can't see anywhere else. If you have the nerve, take a peek at the Gråbol Man, a bog body from the 3rd century BC that was discovered in 1952. The body was so well preserved that they were even able to take the man's fingerprints. There's also a large hoard of Iron Age weapons dating back well over 2,000 years and excavated at the Adel River Valley. Part of the museum's appeal also lies in its sleek low-impact design, with a grass-covered roof that blends almost seamlessly with the surrounding hillside. 3. ARoS. Aarhus has one of the largest art museums in Europe, and it's also a distinctive landmark in the city thanks in no small part to your rainbow panorama, a circular viewing platform and walkway with glass that runs the entire spectrum of light. Up here there's the best view of the city. Below are 9 different exhibition spaces, displaying Danish works from the Golden Age and the early 19th century and continuing to the present day. Temporary exhibitions showcase international design, architecture, film, illustration, sculpture, conceptual art and painting. Wim Wenders, Olafur Eliasson, Frank Jury and Bill Viola have all featured here. 4. Tivoli Friheden. Urban amusement parks are a way of life in Danish cities, and this goes for Aarhus too, which has the Tivoli Friheden. It's tucked into the Marselisborg forest, beach and coniferous woodland that runs along the coast from the southern side of Aarhus. There are 4 roller coasters at Tivoli Friheden, as well as 40 other rides, games and other amusements. Big kids can board the Cobra, which has 3 inversions, while smaller kids will have great fun on a choice of animal-themed rides like the monkey. When hunger strikes, there are sit-down eateries, fast food cafes, as well as picnic and barbecue areas if you pack your own lunch. 5. Botanical Garden. The greenhouses at Aarhus Botanical Garden, just north of Gamle By, have all been renovated in the last few years. A new tropical house has also been added, and this is an almost alien, curved structure housing dense rainforest and with simulated animal sounds to enhance the experience. There are 4 different climate zones synthesized at the park. Outside you can amble through typical Danish landscapes of beech forest and heathland. The large rose gardens here are maintained by local volunteers. 6. Aarhus Domkirke. This imposing cathedral was originally built at the start of the 1200s in the Romanesque style, but had a Gothic update in the 1400s and has kept this appearance ever since. At 93 meters long and 96 meters high, it's also the longest and tallest church in Denmark. The most interesting features are all inside though. Try to get a look at the medieval frescoes depicting a variety of saints. These are very well preserved and are a fraction of what was once here before the Reformation and iconoclasts. The altar of the church is considered one of Denmark's great treasures. It was designed by the German painter-sculptor Bernd Notke in the 1400s and has a section that can be rearranged according to the time of year. 7. Musikhuset Aarhus. This airy building, Aarhus Concert Hall, is one of Denmark's most important pieces of modern architecture designed by Kjær and Richter architects and built in 1982. The building is enclosed by spacious grounds with precise boxwood hedges, flower beds and fountains. Inside there's a large complex of 6 halls and 9 stages that put on a packed calendar of performances each year. Even if you aren't coming for a classical, jazz, pop or rock concert, you have to drop by just to look around the vast foyer and pay a visit to the venue's cafe. 8. The Latin Quarter. This is the oldest part of the city, an area of quaint shop fronts, half-timbered houses, spires and cobblestone streets around Postervig Torv, the central square. The street plan in the Latin Quarter goes back to the 1300s, but the neighborhood only got its name in the 90s because of its similarities to the Latin Quarter in Paris. At night it's a part of town where Aarhus comes to let its hair down, with restaurants, bars, clubs and cafes, and by day you can see what you can find in the independent shops or have a chat with a friend over a beer or coffee. 9. Aarhus Rådhus. You don't have to be an architecture buff to appreciate the simple beauty of the city's town hall. It was built in 1941 during the Nazi occupation, adhering to a pre-war design by Arne Jacobsen, one of the most celebrated functionalist architects. The initial plans did not include the clock tower that makes the town hall so distinctive. This was added later at the behest of Aarhus citizens. The tower is now a nationally recognized landmark, with an exposed marble-clad structural frame and marble clock face placed halfway up the tower rather than at the top. 10. Dock 1. This cultural center was opened in 2015 and revitalized a section of Aarhus' former industrial harbor. It's another attraction that is worth seeing just to marvel at its eye-catching design. It's a 7-sided disc above a glass prism, in which the city library is housed. Inside you should take a look at a remarkable piece of sculpture in Dock 1's atrium, a 3-ton tubular bell, the largest in the world in fact, that is connected to the city's main hospital. Every time a baby is delivered, the bell will chime. The piece was designed by Copenhagen-based artist Kirstine Ropsdorff. Thank you for watching.